start with a little introduction of who you are and what you're doing these days, your age, where you live, and that kind of, give us a little introduction to you, please.
My name is Annika and I'm 32. I am currently in Western Australia, WA, Perth. I work for WA Department of Health in corporate and hospital management side of things. And I am originally from Myanmar. I come from a developing country. So I am really very passionate about creating the sustainable income for youth and, day-to-day worker. And that's why I started and founded, invested and helped establish like a few different social enterprises. Myself, I'm also an active social entrepreneur working across Australia, Myanmar, Singapore, and a bit of US as well. And I work across various not-for-profit organizations, heavily involved in a lot of different things. And currently, I'm serving as the chairperson for the LinkWest board. The LinkWest is actually a peak body for the community and neighborhood centers and family resources center in WA. And I'm also serving as the president and executive director for the Burmese Association WA for all these Burmese community in Australia who are so far away from home, so that I can develop and help them out with their cultural aspects and all these other support that they might need. And because I have a passion for business and trade and investment, I am also the president and founding executive for the Myanmar Business Council of Western Australia as well, so that I can work with the ASEAN Business Alliance Council, the local, federal, and state governments to establish the trade partnership, investments, and opportunities across Australia and Southeast Asian nations and stuff. And yeah, that's about it. That's what I do.
Goodness gracious me! I had no idea you were doing so many things.
Well, Jen, you are the one who developed me into this little Annika, right? So
I take all the credit.
Yes, you should. You should.
Listen. You were phenomenal back in, Curtin days. And how long ago was that? Like 5-6 years ago. And I think you were the president of the Curtin Volunteers. Was that it? Is that right?
Yes,
And you were
yes.
doing the John Curtin Leadership Academy program. And I remember
Yes.
you were phenomenal back then, but you were still battling with some confidence issues. And
Yes.
I was like, come on, step into your power, girl. You're amazing. and wow, like you are doing so well. And I'm so proud of you. Congratulations, Annika.
Oh,
And
thank you, Jen.
you really should be so proud of yourself. And how do your parents feel about this?
My parents, they are very proud of me on so many aspects, but at the same time, because my mom and dad, they are also self-starters. They, built themselves up and they reached to this stage by, standing on their own feet. By the time that they kind of get married, they left everything behind and started their life from afresh and like, rebuilt themselves and stuff. So they understood a lot of the decisions and steps that I take. But at the same time, because some of the decisions and steps that I take are based on my passions and dreams and stuff, sometimes they question like, are you sure where you're going, my dear? We love you.
And
so yeah. Sorry?
what do you say to that when they say that? What's your response?
I always say like, I think so, but I don't know. We'll see. It's a journey. We'll figure it out. It's an adventure.
Oh, I think they should be very, very, very proud of you. And
They are.
and you made a mention before that you have a purpose to improve the youth in Burma. Is that what you said? The youth education or something?
Yes, because I was mentioning to you, Jen, like, my life changing moment, I might say exactly what you mentioned. Like, when I was doing my MBA, I actually got into Curtin Volunteers and they believed in me. And I actually, while doing service to other people, I found my passion of, making an impact, making a difference. And when I met you, when I went through the JCLA, well, I have to thank my brother. He was the one who inspired me because
Yeah.
he went through your program and he was like, have you heard of it? I was like, no, but I was so busy at that time doing 5 different jobs and internships and all these. I was like, I'll get to it later. And I saw him transform during that JCLA journey and I was like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, and I asked questions and I was lucky enough to get into the JCLA. And yeah, it was a life-changing pivotal moment for me as well, because I discovered myself, like my passion, what I wanted to do, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, and I guess like I get to face myself in the mirror kind of view, which I have never done before, because nobody guided me and nobody actually told me like, do you know yourself enough kind of questions. And I really do appreciate you for that. You have been
Ah,
my mentor, my walking inspiration, and you really
oh,
nurtured me into this. Nurture
oh.
me into this crazy girl with so many dreams.
Well, okay, I've got another question for you. And how do you take care of yourself? Like, how do you make sure that you don't burn out? How do you manage your time and your energy? Because that's so valuable and important to know that.
That is true. And if you remember, I used to have this thick burgundy KKK book that I
Yeah.
track myself. Similar things as well. I do plan myself ahead, like, a year time. I know, like, major important days that I'm going to be doing. And then, like, weekly planning in advance as well, so that I don't stress myself out. But I do a lot of things outside to do, like, to have fun. I read a lot of books. I spend a lot of quality time with my friends and family and loved ones.
Yes.
I love hiking as well. I love spending time in nature.
Me
And I
too.
still play video games too. So I do that a lot. But the one thing that really humbled me down and reset me has always been volunteering. You know
Yes.
how, because I am operating across like government sector and corporate sector, entrepreneurship area, as well as not for profit and stuff. Sometimes I get very passionate, and sometimes I get very goal oriented. Sometimes I get very, very competitive, because
Oh,
you really have to win and stuff. But when you actually step back into the volunteering stage, you became the service to others. And
yes.
I started to see, the important things in life, and what is really important to me and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So volunteering always, like, centered me back and humbled me down and reset me. So that's another thing that I really enjoyed it.
Wonderful. And tell me more, sorry, about that thing that you said you really want to make a difference in. Is it Burma? Like, do you go back? Is your plan to go back there and I don't know, start a school or something? Like, what are you wanting to do there?
So I actually do have a few dreams and plans since I was at university and stuff. I think I have mentioned this before as well. In our country, the healthcare system is not the greatest. So a lot of people, the ambulance systems and stuff is just a van. We don't really have like proper medical facilities in the van,
Ah,
in the patient transport, and we don't have like all these proper people with the skills that are supposed to be equipped for emergency treatments and stuff. So a lot of
okay.
lives are lost. And that's one thing that I am really passionate about, like to learn about the healthcare system, and like how to look after the people in different countries, that their systems and structures. And I wanted to help establish these systems in Burma as well. And
Okay.
similarly, because our country is like very coming from like very low socioeconomic background, we do have a lot of poor people who have to work today in order to eat today.
Wow.
And I really wanted to make a sustainable income for these people. So that's why, like earlier on, I was mentioning about the social enterprises and stuff. I wanted to educate them so that they will be able to do the sustainable income, and also like I invest and help establish small little enterprises as well, so that they can actually stand on their own feet, but at the same time, like be a service to the community, utilize the community, and grow together as a community. And certain times, I'm more of an investor in there and a silent partner, so that they can actually establish themselves. And after that, I'll pull out. Or certain times, they will be like, "Please stay on," and I'll be like, "Okay, cool. Let's see where this can
Like a
go," and all
business
these stuff. So
mentor or something like that.
yeah, and sometimes it is more of a business partner. Sometimes it is more of a business mentor, and certain times I'm just like helping them out in the financial aspect, like just investing. And after that, when they are like pretty much stable and established and stuff, I would just like, okay, cool, you're good to go. Leave
Wow.
me out of this kind of things and stuff. So yeah.
There is that model. Is it the I forget the name of it. It was I think the Eunice model, where they set up this investments for small businesses in developing countries, and then once the business takes off, then they get repaid in that loan, and then it's really
Yes.
positive cycle of investment and return, and
Yes.
So it's not on
Yeah,
high
so
interest, not high interest
that is
loans
true.
or anything like that.
I am actually personally, like, because when I started in, I was actually part of the organization that is helping out a lot of the rural areas, and I see this, and all I could do is like, okay, you know what, I can actually help you out, and I didn't even take the interest. I'm just like, okay, here's a lump sum, just go try to settle it, and then they don't really know how to do it, so I try to like help them set it up and all these stuff. And later down the track, like one after another, I just like grow slowly, and now like we do have a group of people who are actually helping out, and most of the time we don't even take any interest, because the main reason, the main core, what we wanted to do is for them to be like stand on their feet and stuff. So if the business
Annika,
grows.
if you've got any
Sorry.
links for that, because I would love to be able to promote that if you've got any links for that.
Yeah, definitely. But right now is not the best time, Jen, because there's civil situations that are happening and all these stuff. So we are all like helping out in a low key factor. And the reason why we actually start to have the Myanmar Business Council in Western Australia is also like to open doors for international people who wants to do business with Myanmar, so that we can actually link them up with the Burmese small business owners and stuff, so that they can actually do the international trade. So later down the track, I'll definitely share it with you as well, but right now it's not the safest time for everyone.
Okay,
Yeah.
understood. Thank you. Now, I would like you to just take a little moment to reflect on your successes, and I would love you
wouldn't call it
to.
success at all.
Oh, you're too humble. You're a very humble woman. I would like you to consider, what would you say are the pivotal steps you took, the biggest game-changing steps you took to get where you are today?
I would have to. The one thing that really stick in my mind that I am so proud of to this day is this. I was an international student when I first came to Australia, and I was working in the oil and gas industry, and good money and stable career and stuff. But I wanted to do something. When I go to work every single day, I wanted to use my brain and my heart, and I wanted to make a bigger impact, like something bigger than myself. So I wanted to go into WA health because I was passionate about health, and I wanted to learn about health and care and all these stuff. My mentors, my lecturers, and even like people from that organization, WA Health, told me, yeah, don't waste your time. You're an international student. Local government will never be able to employ you. At that moment, I actually was like, okay, maybe, like they never had that history of like hiring international students for that organization as well. And as I was thinking and pondering, I was like, rejecting is their job. Applying is essentially my job. And if they reject me, what of it? Like, I still have a slight chance that they might actually look at my application. If I don't apply, 100% chance that I'm never gonna get there. So I was like, I'm just gonna take my chance and I'm just gonna go for it. And out of 2,000 really high caliber applicants, only 23 were chosen. And I went through the initial assessment center and the skill review, as well as like the group interviews, individual interviews, and I got in, and I'm still in WA Health. So sometimes I think that gave me the strength in life afterwards, that I have to take chances, even like when people around me who love me so much actually care for me and think the best for me. If there is something that I really wanted to do, if it is worth the shot, just give it a go kind of thought.
You know what I'm hearing there, because you're saying that your job is to apply, their job is to reject or accept.
Yeah.
I would say that there is a lot more to just applying. I think what you display there is a commitment, a goal. Like, you had a dream, you had a commitment to that dream, you had a dedication, a resourcefulness, a drive that you put yourself. You took the courage and you persevered, and all of that. There is a lot to that. That's not just applying. That's you're
Aww.
really you believe in yourself, and you believed in your dream, and that is to be commended, I think.
Oh,
Brava,
thank you,
brava.
Jen.
We say this word in Italian, brava. I love it. Brava means
I'll never
amazing.
be able to roll my tongue. Thank you.
Brava. Okay, I would like to ask. Okay, so you ended up doing more study. So you ended up having a master's degree. You did
Yes.
the Curtin Volunteers. So I think, when we're trying to think of what were the steps that supported you in that application, for example, would you say that it was really great that you had worked at volunteers as Curtin Volunteers and then become maybe the president or took that leadership role? It's great that you did John Curtin Leadership Academy and did that project within the team project in the JCLA leadership program. What else do you think the supporting steps that helped you get to where you are?
I think when I reflect back on my journey, I think doing all these external works that I was doing, I was mentioning, right? I was actually doing 5 different jobs because as an international student, the to put myself in that competitive field with the local Australian students and graduates was already quite tough because English is my second language as well as the visa and all these other limitations. So I tried my best to hone my skills in several different ways. The reason why I
Okay.
was doing 5 different jobs is not just for the financial stability, but also for upskilling myself. And then some of the internships, they don't even pay you, but you are actually learning and growing. And then and also Curtin Volunteers really, really helped me out because I really get to know myself, that authentic self. And then to do the service to other people, you actually see different perspective, what is really important and what you can serve or what you can give back to the society, to the organization, to the team, whoever you are working with, you always have that aspect. So I think that came in handy. And also the leadership program definitely really as a youth, at that time I was a young teenager, so I always have this blood I know a lot of things. Or otherwise I do have a bit of sense of pride, or certain times uncertainty and the confidence issues and all these stuff. But going through that JCLA really, really helped me out because I was brought out of the shell. At the same time, I always mention that it's like I'm like a little onion, right? So I only know the outer surface. And Jen came in and then she slowly peel me. And then I see my core, authentic, inner vulnerability self. And then I realized that, oh, okay, so these are my fears, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, these are my, things that I would like to explore and stuff. And by really knowing myself and being comfortable with it, I could learn and grow, or I was not afraid to fail anymore at that point. So
Wow.
you really did a wonderful job on me, Jen. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I can't take all the credit, my dear, because it was a full program with lots of different facilitators and experiences and activities and group work and lots of that. But I'm just so honored that I got to meet you and be part of your journey. That's what I'm so
Aw.
glad for. And I don't know if you know much of what I did after JCLA, but I went on to study coaching and become a, a leadership coach and a master neurolinguistic programming practitioner as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and so those skills that I was working with you guys and practicing and developing myself as a coach, now I've got almost 5 years experience of that, doing that now. Um,
Yeah.
and what was do you remember with the JCLA how we had to write in the yearbook what would be if you were prime minister, what would you do?
Yeah.
Well, I put in there I would make JCLA for all high school students.
Oh.
And I tried to do that myself when I was in Adelaide. I set up the Inspiring Teens Youth Leadership Program. Did you see
Oh my
that?
God. I did see that.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Jen. I
yeah,
was so amazed. And I was just thinking just the other day, I was reflecting on myself. Life is getting harder and harder, especially these days with international set news of everything that is happening,
yeah,
the standard of livings and then the cost of livings going up, and all
yes,
the society. Even though we are internationally very well connected through the internet, social media, and everything, we are even more disconnected with ourselves and our surrounding and people,
yes,
society,
yes,
and that
yes.
make people a bit lonelier, and they actually became very kind of isolated. And
Especially after
I was
COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was like, I can start to see like a lot of the violence in the society, like, self-abuse, domestic violence, a lot of mental health issues. And I was thinking, you know what? I am so grateful during the time that I was going through that vulnerable state of mind, during my uni years. I had the JCLA and Curtin Volunteers who actually guided me and coached me towards like,
Yeah.
the healthier adulting side of things and like better leadership for self and others. And I was hoping that, one day I was hoping that someone will be able to do something similar to a lot of young generations who are going to be like very confused and who are at the victim of all these things that are happening in the world. To have
Yeah.
that kind of coaching system will be so great. And here
Yeah.
you came and saying that this is what I'm doing, Annika.
Yeah, well, I definitely, I can see the benefit of that it's self-awareness, self-discovery, isn't it? And
That
it's
is true.
we not necessarily get taught that stuff at school, or from our
No,
parents or anything. And so and it's even more unusual when you do it in a group where you don't know everybody. So
that is true.
you meet new friends and you discover things about yourself. So I actually just spoke to one of the participants just the other day. She contacted me. She finished it was called
Oh,
Inspiring Teens. So she did that I did that in 2020. Can you believe I did it the year of COVID?
right.
I launched that youth program. But anyway, she was this
The much needed
fantastic.
time.
Yeah, well, it was, wasn't it? And then she was selected and participated, and she is originally from the Congo. So she was,
Oh, right.
from a migrant background, and she has done so well for herself. So she's in Adelaide.
Right.
She just contacted me the other day. She's like, Genevieve, I want to thank you because since I did that Inspiring Teens program, I then went on and I was the captain of the school. So she became the captain of her high
Oh,
school, and then she went on and she did youth parliament,
yeah.
and
Oh
also
my
she joined.
God.
Yes, she joined RILA, so she did the RILA
Oh,
program with Rotaract,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
then I hope I'm not missing anything. But then anyway, she's just been selected to do the Model United Nations in New York next year.
Oh my God.
And
This girl is outstanding.
yeah, well, look at yourself. So she, but that is another example of someone that does take the opportunity, do something that's outside their norm, okay? And because a lot of teenagers are like, I don't want to do that. Why would I do that? I've got enough schoolwork
Yeah.
and enough pressures of life. But when they do it, they then are exposed to all this other stuff. And all my programs, because I'm so passionate about social change, as you know,
Yeah.
and there are so many, as you were mentioning, so many problems in the community, so many problems in the world community. Look at these wars we're having. Look at climate change. Like, it makes me so angry. And when I'm the kind of person that when I get angry, I take action. I need to do something about it. I
Yes.
can't just complain and complain. I need to take action. And
Do
so that's why
something. Yeah.
I've set up the Impactors. Okay, because I was like, okay, I've worked with teenagers, I've worked with uni students, but I've never worked with professionals. And so now, because when I was at the lead, I got the high after I finished the Inspiring Teens Youth Program, I got hired by the Leaders Institute of South Australia.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and then I was the program manager of their elite program called the Governor's Leadership Foundation Program. And
Oh,
that
okay.
I'd never heard of it before, Annika, but it was like JCLA, but for adults, for senior adults,
Really?
but a long one, like a whole year program in
Yeah, yeah,
Adelaide. I didn't design
yeah.
it. It was all, it's been around for almost 20 years, I think. It's a very well established program in Adelaide. And it's phenomenal because over the year, they do a lot of self-development, professional development, but as senior executives. So,
Wow.
and from every
The
kind of
impact makers
workplace.
too. Wow.
Well, yeah, that exactly. They are the ones that create the impact. And so I was not a facilitator on that program. I was the program sort of organizer, working very close with the CEO, and it was phenomenal because I got to learn also, with them and from them. So it was amazing experience. And then I started knocking on my CEO's door. I was like, Kathy, I think we need to do a youth program. And she was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, well, we better, put it to the board. And so I was like, knocking on the chair of the board. I was like, Todd, I think we need to do a youth program. And he was like, what do you think, Jen? I was like, well, it could look like this. And I presented what I'd done with the Inspiring Teens. And he was like, yep, let's do it. So we did it. We created a Youth Governors Leadership Foundation program.
Oh
And
my God.
yeah, it's amazing. It's still running today. And
Oh, congratulations. There we go.
yeah.
That's a legacy mark. You must
Yeah.
be so proud of it.
Oh, I'm very proud of
Oh.
it. But I keep going. I think I've just got this drive, a bit like you. I've just got this drive to keep going. What's next? What's next? And for me, what's next is the impactors. I was like, I really want to work with young professionals now. And but I want to work with, engaged young professionals, people that are really wanting to make a difference wherever they are, and also but have that self-development, that professional development as well. Because I don't know what you've done recently in terms of that. Have you done much like leadership programs recently?
About a couple of years back. That's about it.
Yeah.
When I was have you ever heard of Alicia Curtis?
Yeah, that name
No.
rings a bell. Who's
Yeah.
she?
Alicia Curtis, she actually is running like the Emerging Leaders in Governance program, where she wanted to create the young board members to be able to step into the boardrooms and like do the
Fantastic.
community impact and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where I landed when I started my board journey, because I have been like part of the different boards and stuff, but I never really had that proper training. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing that I went through recently.
Yes.
So tell me more
Wow.
about the impactor programs. What are you doing?
Okay. So it kicks off in February, and it's going to be run online just like this, okay? Because when I'm in Italy in the morning is your evening. Okay, so similar time to this, it will be your after hours, and it will be 2-hour workshop per week for 12 weeks. So February, March, and April. And it will be live leadership coaching, like how we are now, but in a small group. So between 5 to 10 people. And the age group is 25 to 35-year-old. So I'm, it's hard to make an age group. Like I'm trying to get the people that have left uni, already started working, and starting to notice that, okay, because I know that that's how I was. When I was turning around 30, I was like, I know I've got more to give, but I don't feel like I'm there yet. Like I feel like there is more in me, but where I am right now is not where I want to be, kind of thing. And that's where I'm thinking, that's where I would love to be working with people that just are so full of ambition and want to make a real difference in the world, but just still trying to work that out, what that could look like. Now you're a person that already knows very well, but the thing is, there's still be stuff for you to learn, I think, because
absolutely. Absolutely.
Because when you've got a sounding board with other professionals and someone like myself to sort of guide the questioning and things, I'm going to be and I can be a bit more tough on you even now, because you're
absolutely.
exactly, you're wiser and older, and so am I, and so that sort of coaching is one of the most beautiful relationships, I think, because as a leadership coach, I see you as and all my clients as the as the in the highest regard, and I think that when you've got someone that just wants the best for you, but doesn't actually judge you or really deal with you in your day-to-day life. So I'm not like your parents or that those kind of people that have got those other judgments and expectations. You can just be so honest and pure with me and tell me what you really desire, and I will do what I can to help bring that out of you. And that's I think such a valuable relationship. It's I'm not sure if you've had therapists or counselors or anything like that. They are usually typically, they're very expert, but they usually look at trauma or past issues and experiences that may be making you in your day-to-day not being as effective as you possibly can. Whereas coaches are more future focused, like where are you wanting to go and how do we get you there? So the impactors will be the 3 months. The first month is called the stock take. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? How do we get you there? Okay. And what are your strengths? But and I think this is for you, what are the areas you want to develop? Because I think you know very well your strengths. But if you have a real, I use this mirror. If you were to hold up mirror up and be really honest with yourself, what are the areas that you want to develop? And then once we've started to do that, we'll then, second month is the intervention. I call it the project, but it's an intervention. So look, you've got so many different areas where you could do this intervention. You could do it in one of your social enterprises, you could do it in your current job, or you could do it in a completely new initiative that you've got. But it's meant to be short, but it's meant to be impactful. So something that you really, it's almost like you want to play with an idea and just do it. It's like a little experiment of if I just were to put this spanner in there and twist it a little bit, what's going to happen? Do you understand my analogy?
Yeah.
It's trying to change the
first step to build a rocket, like start with a spanner.
Yeah, exactly. And see, well, I love that. That's exactly right. And then hopefully in that time we're together, you can actually start to see the results of whatever intervention you've created. Now, I've suggested to people, because remember in JCLA, you could pick like we gave you 20 or so projects and then you picked the projects and you worked in teams. This is going to be different because you're now a professional person. You can create your own project, but you can either invite people onto your project team, or you can join others, or you can do it on your own. The choice is yours. And so for that month, that's what you'll be working on. And when we meet, we'll be doing lots of problem solving and action learning. Do you remember action learning? Have you done that before?
Yeah.
Where one person says their problem or their challenge, and then the other people ask clever questions to help them see that from a different perspective. So we'll definitely be doing that because that's very powerful. And then the third and final month will be reflection. So how did we do? What did we do? Could it have gone better? What could I have done differently? Et cetera, et cetera. Reflection and just taking the time to sort of pause and then looking to the future, what's next kind of thing, planning for what's next. And then I'm going to ask everyone to invite community networks to join the session and watch you showcase the results of whatever intervention you created.
Wow, it's almost like JCLA all over again. I'm so excited.
Yeah, but it's a very
more of a like grown up JCLA.
Yeah, more grown up, more sophisticated in a way. Because it's it's something that's I believe it's quite a unique program. I've not ever heard of this kind of thing before, because it's meant to be it's a small container, but it's all done online, and that's thanks to COVID. I don't think before COVID people did so much like this, or I didn't know about it anyway.
We didn't even thought of like having the meetings and stuff online, right?
Yeah. And now it's just such part of our life, and it's very very, very exciting, because it means I can be in Italy and still work with you in Perth. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
So tell me, do you have any questions? How does that sound to you?
It sounds really exciting. Oh my god. I wish like all of the JCLA actually came back on board and stuff. The main reason why I say that is, Jen, when you were actually doing the JCLE, you're not just like honing us and developing us. You actually created that little peer, like-minded community where everybody wanted to make a positive impact.
Yeah.
And they wanted to help each other out and help each other step up and stuff. So we actually started to have that healthy little community where we help each other out. So yeah.
Oh, I miss it too, sweetie. And that's, why I reached out to you, because I was just like, I really would love to get the JCLA students that I work with, because obviously I think it still is running today. I don't know, but
No.
I was there from 20 2013 to 2016. So that little, pocket of time, because we ran it twice a year. So I think I worked
Yeah.
with quite a few students, 3, 6, 9, 10, 12, maybe 150 students or 200 students I worked
Yeah.
with. And so I'm trying to reconnect with them and see if they want to come and join. And so if you know anyone, please share it with them.
Definitely, definitely.
And
So it is starting in February.
yes.
Sorry, it is starting in February. And Jen, for the application process and stuff, have you set it up already?
Yes. Everything's all set up. So basically, there is $100 deposit that is
Yeah.
you pay just to secure your place, and I'm
Yeah.
also offering a very discounted price for a case study position. So can I tell you
Oh,
what a case study position is?
yes, please. I
Okay.
like that discount.
Yeah.
Do tell me.
Oh, I know.
I am from the developing country girl, so tell me. Discount.
Okay, so the cost of the program is $3,000. Okay, because
Aw.
that's that's the, but as a case study, what I'm inviting is people that are wanting to help me with the program. So you would be like
Right.
my confidant. You would give
Yeah.
me your real-time feedback.
Yeah.
Genevieve, I think this activity we need more time, or Genevieve, I
Yeah.
think we could change the expectations of this activity, or
Yeah.
I don't know, just whatever you feel you
Yeah.
need to share with me in the moment to make it the program the best it can be, because I want it to
Yeah.
be exactly
Of
what you
course.
need. I want it
Yeah.
to um and so I can be giving you what I think you need, but I'll only know from you if it's actually working, if it's
Absolutely.
you believe it's
Making it,
valuable.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. And so I'm able to offer that at half price. So it's major
Ooh.
discount. Yeah. So
Ooh.
yeah. And then and I'm offering payment plans as well, which is what everyone's doing. So because I know it's Christmas, it's very expensive time. So,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
could start in the new year, and that's it. Like it's really up to you how you want to set up the payment plan. And also a lot
Yeah.
of the organizations offer professional development um, fees, because
Yeah.
this is so highly relevant. It could be you could use the project in your team at work, and then that's
Yeah.
benefiting the organization, so they might be able to help reimburse you for whatever out of pocket fees. It's
Right.
probably a tax deduction if you've got an ABN as well.
That is true. That is true. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I will definitely share. Have you actually? You did mention that there are limited people that you are actually offering at the moment. Do you have a certain limit? If I were to spread the news, and if you got bombarded
Yes.
with all these different applications.
Well, it really depends on everyone's different financial positions, because, I can, I'm the boss. I'm able to offer discounts if I think that people can, if they need it. And
Yeah.
also, like, I'm helping Jade, because I call her Jade, but she's changed her name to Isabel now.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I
Jade.
keep
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
Jade.
Yeah.
But she the work she's doing is so profound and so important that I
Mm,
believe that she could organize like a sponsorship for her
yeah.
role. And so for certain people that are really, financially needing the support, we will look
Yeah.
for sponsors and things like that for her or for them.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, because it's a need, like her area is suicide, and it's such a niche and such a valuable her lived experience, knowledge, and
Exactly.
expertise is so valuable that I'm sure she
Mm.
should be able to get sponsored by an organization for
Yeah.
that.
Definitely.
And so, again, it's like problem solving. Unfortunately, I can't offer the program for free because I need to
Of
get paid as
course.
well. This is, my job now, but it's I'm able to offer discounts just to help people be able to afford the program, because I believe it's going to be valuable. So.
Thank you, Jen. I really appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. I'll share the news as well. I will reach out to all the JCLAers as well, because I'm still in touch with the whole well, not the whole again, most of the people and stuff. Our so you're already in touch with Carissa, are you?
Well, actually, it was her sister that signed up for the information session the other day.
Yeah.
And so I spoke with her, and then I said,
Yeah.
oh, it'd be nice to talk to Carissa. And she said, she's in the other room. I was like, oh, can I talk to her as well, please? So yeah, I did speak to her. That was so gorgeous.
Yeah.
And
She is still in touch with a lot of JCLA, former teams as well. So
yes,
yeah,
yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine how amazing it would be like to have a whole
it
bunch of
would be great.
JCLAs? It really would be fantastic. I've already got a guy called Stephen signed up, and I had an interview with him yesterday, and he's a miner. He works in the mining, and he's been in his role for quite a few years now, and he's ready to shake things up a bit, I think. And so that's
Mm,
why for him this has come at a really good time, to just that professional development, and that time to reflect and think about what's next. So
yeah,
um,
definitely.
have you got any other questions? Oh, I know someone asked, what happens if they miss the session because they have a work meeting or something. All the sessions will be recorded, and then you can just
Recorded.
catch up on it the next day.
Gotcha. Okay, and it is starting in February and early February.
Yeah. For the first weekend of February is when I've got it like labeled into my diary. And then once I close the applications, I'll probably close it around the 20th of January. We will then, whoever's signed up, we'll look at what time and day is the best for them, because I set a time originally, and then I had people say, oh, I can't do that. And I was like, oh, I won't set the time yet. I'll wait till everyone is in, and then we'll set the time set
The
based on
time
the
that works best
majority
for
of, yeah,
everyone.
exactly.
Yeah, definitely. And how intense would the program be, Jen? Mainly, the main reason why I'm asking is because I'm actually planning to tackle some of my professional development CPA kind of related stuff this year as well. So I do want to do both if I can. So
So it's meant to be achievable with a full-time working job. So it's
right.
2 hours a week is the biggest chunk of it. You
All
can choose
right.
to do
Okay.
your own readings and work outside
Yeah.
of that. And I might give you a couple of exercises to do, but it won't be like a master's, like write 4,000 word essay on this topic. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
It will be definitely achievable with somebody like you, Annika.
Oh, thank you. Very kind.
You're like a very you make things happen, sweetie, and you're it's I think a lot of people can learn from you, your how you're able to manage your time and energy and still remain so bubbly and bright and lovely, and
Oh, thank you.
achieve so much. Like, that is just phenomenal what you're doing. It would be
Oh,
such an honor to have you on the program. I mean it. And I would love to just reconnect with you on that kind of level again, and that would be, of course it gives me a lot of joy and pleasure, but I think you could also benefit, and that's the ripple effect, isn't it? It's like it would be so wonderful to see more of what you're doing, and how it
oh,
can impact the community. Of course, that's why I'm doing
oh, thank
this.
you. Okay, so two last questions though. One,
Yes.
in April, you mentioned that it's roughly about in April you're going to be finishing up, right?
Yeah, the
February,
end of
March,
April. Yep.
April, the end of April. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, I'll have to
Are
quickly
you
check
going
in
away?
because that no, during that April is the time where I have exams as well for my CPA. So I will just quickly check in. Do you have
But
like any assignments or any
no,
deliverables
no,
during that
no.
time?
That will be the time of reflection, sweetie. So,
Cool.
because February is the stock take, March is the project, April is the reflection. So don't worry.
Ah, there we
Not
go.
going to be. It's not. Yes, you might have your 2-hour workshop on a Monday night or whenever we
That's
decide to
fine.
do it. But around that other times, I don't anticipate there to be a lot of extra things. Like, I don't think so.
Okay, so one last question. Where do I sign up, Jen?
I'll send you the link. I'm so excited to have you. You're amazing.
Uh,